They're going to try to promote their cause. How does this promote their cause?
Tonight, Seattle Mayor Bruce Harrell says the action of a few, quote, bad actors at protests around the downtown Federal Building should not overshadow this weekend's No Kings March. It was 1 week ago tonight when protesters barricaded entrances and burned flags at the Henry M. Jackson Federal Building. KOMO's Jeremy Harris looks at the city's response, the cleanup, and the plans if protests continue to get out of control at night downtown.
After nights of chaotic protests on the streets around the Federal Building in downtown Seattle, things seem to have leveled off and cleanup has started from anti-ICE protests that left the building covered in vandalism.
They, under the disguise of masks, went crazy.
Mark came down to the federal courthouse and is voluntarily cleaning it up after what he saw during the protests.
And just seeing it not get cleaned up so far was appalling, and I just, after work, grabbed a can of some paint remover, came up with some paper towels and started at it.
Over 4 nights, police made a handful of arrests, but the question now is whether scenes like this will come back and how police will handle it. We hope to talk with Seattle Mayor Bruce Harrell about the response to the protest. His office told me in a statement that the vast majority of protesters here in downtown Seattle were peaceful and that the actions of a few bad actors should not define the city. What happens if the tactics from the protesters escalate?
Well, action, if it gets into bodily injury, things like that, the police have to react.
Jim Fuda is a former sheriff investigator and worked on the response to large-scale protests. He says Seattle police made the right call by not trying to escalate tensions with the protesters.
We're in this era of definite de-escalation, and why turn a vandalism into assault or worse?
There were fires and close calls with cars. And an assault on independent journalist Cam Higbee, who was attacked here while recording a protest at night on Saturday. City leadership says this shouldn't detract from one of the largest protests in city history at No Kings Day on Saturday, where around 70,000 people marched peacefully with no damage or arrests that were reported.
I think mostly here it's going to be peaceful, and we're always going to have those groups that come in that want to cause damage and piggyback on another person's peaceful protest, and that's the part that needs to be stopped.
In Seattle, Jeremy Harris, KOMO News.